All right. Hello, YouTube. Joe's going to work arms today. He's going to start with some lower weight and work high. We switch this. Sometimes we start with higher weight and go low. Sometimes he puts the same thing on the dumbbells and just uses the same amount of weight each set. Now he's going to superset here. I don't know what the different things he's going to do today. We hadn't went over it, but we're going to go over it right now, and you'll see us go over it. What exercises are you going to do? All right, all right, all right. Okay. Not going to do triceps. Well, you can, but you don't have to. So you're just going to separate what you're doing. All right. So he's just going to. This work he's going to start out with is just going to be bicep work. Now, you're going to take and do like 3 or 4 sets of just bicep work and then move on to something else? Or, all right. So he's going to, we do things different, and I give him a lot of leeway here to do the different stuff. Now, you're going to see here he's going to start out. I don't know how much weight this is. I think this is going to end up being 12 pounds on each dumbbell. So he's starting real light, but he's going to go heavier. Keep your count, son. So for those of you that watch us a lot, and we're getting quite a few people that do watch us, I vented yesterday, and I'm very angry at the liberalization that's going on throughout the world, which is really not liberalization at all. It's a sick, psycho form of woke, is what they call what they. I don't know if they call it that, but they're sure not awake, and we don't like it. We don't like that in our nation back home that you got areas that are so idiotic, such as California, that are so hell bent on uh, idiocy that they can't have water. When there's major blaze alerts, they empty their reservoirs and are actually ripping the environment apart in California in the name of saving it, just to squander the people that live there and people that live throughout the U.S.'s money. And because California is a bankrupt mess. And seeing all that going on and some other issues and things that are going on in England where they protected child predators for decades. And these are all the so-called liberals of today. And they're good for nothing. They're about as good as a communist is. And the only thing a communist is good for is control of people, death of people, and destruction of people. And we don't like it. And if you do, then you're under a delusion right now, and you need to get woke up. And I vent from time to time, but this wokeism is in everything, and we've got to quit pandering to it, coddling these people, and being nice. You can't do it. You can't force things on people. You can't force a little boy to be a little girl or a little girl to be a little boy. You can't force adults on children. You can't force people to put things in their body that are no good, that are killing them, which we experienced in 20. And you need to be healthy. You need to be of sound mind. Something's drastically wrong when our health director is a man dressed in women's clothing and going as a woman. I believe his name is Richard Levine, and now he's Rachel Levine. You can't put sick people in charge. And we've got to quit having any type of niceties or pleasantries with these lunatics. And we're getting there. I never had nicety or pleasantries or patience for it at all. But many people have had. And that's not the way to deal with crazy. You've got to deal with crazy with an iron fist. The truth is a very blunt instrument. So anyway, from time to time, there's a lot of venting going on around here, in due to us paying attention to what's going on in the world. But back to this. This is a great workout. It will not zap your cardio. It will not get you to a point to where your oxygen is depleted, trying to get to muscle tissue. And we have a lot of fighters that we can look at that haven't depleted, that have been very muscular and very strong. The one that Joe emulates the most would be more along the lines, a couple of them would be Sonny Liston, who could clearly go 15 rounds and be fighting strong at the end of the 15th, and Mike Tyson, who could do the same. So we're seeing a lot of big people in boxing now in our heavyweight division, but we're not seeing people that really have a lot of gas in what now is the championship rounds, the 11th and 12th, or 10th, 11th, and 12th. Back in my day, the championship rounds were the 13th, 14th, and 15th. So we try to correlate everything we're doing around old school principles and whatnot with everything that we do. And here's the type of Joe, he's sparred 10 rounds in a row before with a minute rest. Now, I will disclose that these rounds have been 2-minute rounds because they've been amateur type rounds for his age. But he'll keep going, and the other guys will wane out, and then I put another guy in there with Joe, and 3 guys, and 2 or 3, and Joe's still going through to the end, as good as he was going from the first round. But I will hear, hey, this tired me, and I'll be like, well, from the way you were looking, it didn't appear to be so. So, and that's what you want to see. That is exactly what you want to see. And you've got options if you want to box. If you want to box to, we used to say a lot of people would go to the gym, they want the boxing gym, they want a boxer's body. And there's nothing wrong with that, none whatsoever. Nothing wrong with that at all. As a matter of fact, that's a great thing. But what we do, we're doing to compete and win a championship, a world championships, the finale, if Joe chooses to continue doing this. And that's his choice. Some people, they get in and they start winning in the amateurs, but they don't push themselves no further than training like an amateur, and you will not get no further than that. You've got to have a great work ethic, and that's what we're patterning out with Joseph right now. He's just 16, but he works as hard daily as somebody that's getting ready for the World Olympics, and maybe even harder. And I'm not the all-knowing guy around here, but I was able to work with Big John Tate's team. I worked briefly when they came to Charlotte, got to work around with U.S. Olympians, Jimmy Clark, and there were several other people in there. And my trainer got to work with Ace Miller, who was John Tate's trainer. And I got to meet John Tate and several other professionals, and those guys, they worked, man. They were workhorses. And they'd put a full in-your-face run in early in the mornings. There would be, after the running really's not counted, they'd get done running. There'd be 3-4 hours, a couple hours after the run. They'd eat breakfast, let everything settle, maybe 2 hours, an hour. After, they would do a full morning workout that would be 2.5 or 3 hours. And then another one in the afternoon after some R&R and a good lunch. And that would be 2 or 3 hours. Then there would be an hour or two pause. And then there would be an evening workout. So these guys would be sectioning, they'd be doing so much that they'd have to section this stuff out through an entire day going into the evening. And you don't see a lot of that no more, not even in the professional ranks amongst world champions. Joe, I don't even know if I'd go up in weight anymore. It's up to you, but. So we show you a lot of the dumbbell work, the squats we do. We'll be showing some gym work again, either, what's today, son? Wednesday? Joseph, what's today, Wednesday? Yeah. Well, it'll probably be early next week. We'll be showing you guys some more gym work and some other stuff we do. But you can go back in the videos and see some of the stuff that we do. I got to where I was just videoing reflex bag, heavy bag work, stuff like that. But you can go back and look, and you see we do a variety of things. We do a lot of work with strap punching work, with the resistance going, and we do round after round after round of that. That keeps the fighter's hands up and keeps the arms from getting so weary. And I don't see many. I see people doing this stationary, but what we do is we get a fighter up in their boxing stance. Uh, they wrap a strap around both, each individual fist, and one guy will pull in one direction and one guy will pull in another, creating great resistance with the straps. And you shadow box round after round after round. And it is strenuous to say the least. So you've just got to be working and always working. Boxing is a sport that 99% of the time, to the hardest worker goes the spoils. That awful 1%, maybe it could be 3%, that awful lower percentage is usually attributable to who you know, inside connections, promoters just with the dollar bill signs on them. And that's a big problem in boxing today. It's just a dollar bill sign on everything. The love for the purist in the fight game is waning today. And we would like to encourage everyone that, if we can get one person to be a fighting purist, it's worth it. So, but push yourself. Look, I always say, people get sick of me saying it. If you can't do but one push-up, do that one push-up. Wait a few minutes and do one more. Wait a few minutes and do one more. Wait a few minutes and do one more. And eventually, at the end of the day, maybe you have 20, maybe you have 50, maybe you have 100. And before you know it, you're doing 100 in a row. You just have to push, push, push. We enjoy you along for the ride, because as soon as we get back to the U.S., Joe's going to be wide open competing. Of course, for those of you that are new and made it this long into this video, we're in Colombia, South America, and there's just really no competition down here. There's a lot of boxing leagues, but as soon as Joe comes around, they want to talk about that they don't have proper medical insurance, and want to start talking about they're scared they're going to get brain damaged. And that's what we're doing around here. We're creating that type of don't want to spar with him, don't want to nothing to do with him. So that is a blessing to have, and not many have that. We're proud we have that. We're kind of hoping most of the people in boxing gyms, they tell us right regularly, in New York, Texas, Florida, just all through. They're like, Joe he won't be able to fight nobody his own age at 16 here in the U.S. He's just too big and too, I'll go ahead and say it, too badass. So this boxing, MMA, uh, kickboxing, Muay Thai, these things take supreme dedication. I mean, supreme dedication. But one other thing I wanted to tell you, and with this is the way we do this. You can easily go on the Boxing Science channel and see variations of what we're doing here. And there's nothing new about it. They act like this is new stuff we do. We've been doing this. We were doing this back in the early 70s, folks. Nothing new here. And they'll come out and say, well, you need to superset it. I don't even think we called them supersets. It was just what you were expected to do when you went in the gym. It was part of the work. You can go in and you can punch all day long. You can do bag work. You can spar, shadow box, all of which I say do, and do more of it than the next guy. But if that's all you're doing and you are not building the body in a major way, and I don't mean bodybuilding, I mean actually building the body to allow boxing resistance, you're not going to get nowhere when you run up on somebody that's been training to have a boxing resistant body. All this stuff will make you very durable. Very, very durable. Of course, you've got one camp out there. Angelo Dundee was on that spectrum of the camp, that you never pick up a dumbbell or anything. And if you've got speed like Muhammad Ali or Sugar Ray Leonard, great. That will work for you, but I'll guarantee you this, you will not be as durable as Muhammad Ali was, whom was probably the most durable boxer ever in the heavyweight division, at least. So, but we build up all the muscles. We do a variety of body weight work, calisthenic stuff, rope work, running, the whole nine. I'm just very selective in what I show. And I'll let you guys in on a little hint here. Mike Tyson was very selective on what he would show as well. The part of Mike Tyson that you got to see with the advent of VHS and beta tapes where you're able to record was what Custy Amato wanted you to see, which was heavy bag work, a tad of pad work, bobbing work, weaving work. But they didn't show a whole lot. They really rarely showed the building of the resistance that Mike Tyson did, resistance power, as I call it. And we show that, but don't show other things that we do. And the other things we do, we're very selective in what we show. trying to, you know, share some things, and this is why I talk during these videos. The biggest thing is working hard. You've got to work hard, and that's the thing I want to stress with you more than anything. Whatever your style is, and you need the work that you do needs to uh, be to the benefit of the style of fighting you're going to do. And you may not want to do what we do with Joe here. You may have a style that is a complete different to that. I'll give you an example of a guy who could have been a great heavyweight, and that was Tyrell Biggs, but he had too many other issues. But Tyrell Biggs, for example, he was 6'5", I believe, 6'4.5", very lanky, had a lot of speed. He did some weight. He did well. He did, in fairness and in disclosure, he did a lot of dumbbell work himself. So I probably picked a wrong example. We'll just go with Ali. Although Ali was not lanky at all, but Ali, everything he did was centered around body weight work. You know, among the other plethora of things that he did, but you never would have seen him weightlifting, or at least I never have seen him weightlifting. And but a lot of the other fighters you did see doing that. Joe Frazier was one of them. Joe Frazier would not lift a weight over his head, but he would do dumbbell work and squats and things of that nature. And you things that would help him with his style. So different fighters are going to need to work different things, different ways, and you need to. You need to fight like you train all the time. But I'm going to give you another one. You need to train like you fight. And these boxing coaches out here are just that. They're coaches. And coaches coach. They typically have their one style of a way that they do things, as most coaching staffs do in the NFL. But the difference between a boxing coach and a trainer is simply this, in my humble opinion. A trainer is going to train the fighter. He is going to dissect what is this guy's strengths, what is this guy's weakness, and we are going to work the style that works best for the fighter or boxer, and that's what we do. That's what we do. And it's not complicated. You got a tall, slender guy that's quick as lightning. You're going to work different than the way Joe's going to work. You do not want to be lifting. You probably don't even want to be doing any barbell work. You just want to do body weight work. I would tell every fighter to do some squats because it increases your, but not religiously now, but to do some squats because it increases your testosterone level, supposedly. And I believe that. There's a lot of tests that indicate that. Now, will it increase everybody's testosterone level? I don't know.
I cut myself.
How'd you cut yourself?
I was
On metal?
no, yeah.
Yeah.
Had a big deal with it. It's just a tiny, like microscopic.
Okay.
This is my last thing, bro. Just to let
Well, just make sure that even if it's a microscopic cut, just clean your hands real good when you're done. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't clean my hands after this. I'd just wait. Everything else you're going to do that we don't video, just we'll go through and do everything, and then just make sure you get your hands cleaned up good, just in case. Last thing you want's a little finger infection or something. So we're doing a whole bunch of different things around here. These things may not work for you or your particular style or the way you move and the way you fight and what you do and what your strengths and weaknesses are. But for us, having more of a peekaboo type style, fighting more like a somewhere between a cross between really four guys. Foreman, Liston, Morrison, Tyson, and Dempsey. So that's five guys. That's five guys, but what we do is very aggressive. It's just our style and what we do. So we try to build a lot of strength. Our whole goal and the style that Joe uses is to calmly hunt you down and get that punch or that combination in to knock the other guy out. That's it. We're not running. We want to keep somebody backing up the whole time. That's what we do. We want to the old cliche hit and not get hit and stuff like that. One thing I would suggest for all boxers is work your neck, because if you work your neck, you're less prone to having a weak jaw and getting knocked out. And so every boxer needs to be with weight work. They got the head thing that you can put on your head with the straps, and you can put plates on it and work your neck out. You need to do that, and you need to lay flat on the floor, lifting your back up with your head and using your neck, and rotating around. And we do a lot of that. You need to do it. You'll benefit from it. We want you to know we love you all. We hope everybody, since we're still towards the beginning of the year, has a great year. Push forward, and remember, to the hardest worker is the victor, and to the victor goes the spoils. Much love, everybody, and finish as we always do. Up in here, Christ is our King, our Savior, and our Lord, and we hope He is in your house too.